The search continues for an Alabama murder suspect and the corrections officer who helped him escape. They may have been talking on the phone now for years. Investigators have traced the relationship between Vicky White and Casey White, who are not related to each other, all the way back to 2020 when the inmate was first brought to the Lauderdale County Jail. They say last week's jailbreak could have been planned all the way back then. Nobody knows where they are tonight, but one woman says she knows exactly what that corrections officer is going through.
Fox 4's Dave DeMarco spoke with the volunteer who helped a Kansas murder suspect escape from the Lansing Correctional Facility.
And that 2006 escape made national headlines the same way that this one is. I talked to the woman formerly known as Toby Young about her life on the run with a convicted murderer and how these unusual prison relationships can form. While much of the nation has been captivated by Vicky White helping break out a murder suspect who she had a, quote, special relationship with, Toby Dorr says her heart breaks for the corrections officer.
People were saying, you know, we don't really know what happened, and I thought, I know exactly what happened.
That's because Dorr, previously known as Toby Young, did the very same thing in 2006. She was married and running a dog training program at Lansing Correctional when she met John Maynard, who was serving a life sentence for a fatal carjacking.
When you create a situation by having female officers or female volunteers in with male inmates, all it takes is for that one officer or volunteer to just be a little bit nicer at one moment to an inmate. And, you know, things just take off from there.
She got Maynard out of the prison in a dog crate, and they went on the run, hoping to create a life together.
I fell in love with John, and I know that he was in love with me, but we didn't really know each other.
She says red flags started to pop up, but she never considered turning the inmate in. She says she now fears for the prison guard's safety.
When you're living on the run like that, it's kind of a powder keg. I wasn't ready for it to be over yet.
They lived in a cabin in Tennessee for most of their 12 days on the run.
When we came up over a hill, the whole interstate was just filled with police vehicles.
A chase topping 100 miles per hour ended with the couple smashing into a tree. Dorr was sentenced to 27 months in prison for aiding the escape. She spent most of her time in the area after her release, only recently moving out of state. She's remarried, and she and her husband have visited her former lover in prison, where he's serving a life sentence plus 10 years for the escape.
Chris is my husband. Chris and I both consider John a friend still to this day.
She's turned to writing books on how to escape prisons of a different kind.
When you are in an emotional prison, you don't make good decisions. So, you know, the whole purpose of these workbooks is to help people escape their emotional prisons.
Lessons she thinks Vicky White could actually benefit from as she prays for the guard and inmates' safe capture. So if she had to do it over again, would she? Dorr says she'd never help an inmate escape again now, but says the lessons she learned in prison and rebuilding her life were priceless. It's part of the story that she tells in her memoir, which is going to be out next month. Lauren.